Hi, hello. This is James from Evolution Motors. I'm Suffolk's only independent EV car sales garage. At least I think I am. I've not seen any others. So what I thought I'd share with you today is a few tales of woe that us car dealers have to deal with customers and part exchanges and such. So I don't just sell electric cars. I do sell small combustion engine sort of eco cars, low on tax, cheap to run. And I've got a nice little Toyota Aygo. And by the way, if anyone's interested in it, drop me a message in the comments and I'll happily sell it to you. So today, this week, so it's Saturday? It's Saturday today. And I sold this car on Wednesday. And I part exchanged it for a Mercedes A-Class. Both of the cars are automatic, and the A-Class actually had a few less miles on it, similar age vehicles. Now I did the cardinal sin of doing the viewing on this car in the evening as the light was fading, and I didn't get a really good opportunity to have a look around this A-Class. But you know what, we did a deal. I took the car as part exchange. I gave them too much money for it, I think, and I knocked some money off of the Aygo, and I gave them a 12-month warranty on it as well, out of the kindness of my heart, because I'm very nice. But anyway, the following day when I tried to start it, put the key in the ignition of the Mercedes A-Class, it just would not turn. The car would not start. I tried for 10 minutes. I needed to go somewhere. I had no time to do it, so I just jumped in another car. I messaged the guy that I'd done the part exchange with, and straight away he phoned me back. And he's, oh, really sorry. It's happened to me a couple of times. I'll come down later on today, and I'll get the car started for you, and then we can have a chat. And if we need to do something with money, then we will. So, you know, true to their word, they came down. They came back in the Toyota Aygo. He did manage to eventually get the car started with some fiddling around with the key, but he just said, "Look, you're a nice guy." That was nice to hear. He said, "You're a nice guy. You're a genuine guy. We don't want to lump you with a problem. We'll take the car back." And we just reversed the deal. I gave him his money back that he'd given me on top of the part exchange. They were really lovely people, and that's an honest customer. He didn't really have to take that car back. By all rights, I had looked at the car. I was lumped with that car. We had not actually done the V5s yet because it was too late. When they came down, it was so late. It had gone 7 o'clock. We couldn't actually do the V5 online. So he still owned his car on the V5, and I still was registered on the V5 of the Aygo. Not that a V5 is proof of ownership, but anyway, it was still in his name, his car. My car was still in my name. We reversed the deal. No harm done. Honest guy. So anyway, I had lots of people interested in this Aygo, and literally as those people were driving their Mercedes off of my lot, I had another guy ringing me who'd been ringing me all day, and he wanted to part exchange a little Peugeot 206, and the car was low miles, the 206. I was always originally preferring to take the 206, but the Mercedes people had called me first, and you know I don't play people off against each other. So because the Mercedes people had already arranged a time, I was always keeping to that deal with them. But it was nice that the Peugeot people rang me immediately while these people were still on the drive, and said, "Look, can we? Did you reverse the deal?" Because I'd already told them. And I said, "Yes, I did. So did you want to come down?" And they did. So today, Saturday, a mother and daughter came down. The lady who's wanting the car was a retired lady. She was a bit older. I think she was in her 70s, and she had this Peugeot 206 1.6 Sport Auto that they'd had for 2 weeks. Now, ding ding ding, alarm bells are always ringing. They've had the car for 2 weeks. It was too fast for mother to drive. So mother and daughter came down. Now, strangely enough, daughter was driving the car, not the mother. A few more alarm bells because it's kind of okay. Anyway, I'll carry on. So straight away, I did a HPI check. Now, all of my cars, when I sell them, I do a HPI check, 100%. So you know when you're buying a car from me, I've HPI checked it. The car won't be a write-off, or if it is a Cat N or a Cat S or whatever, I will tell you in the ad, because that legally, that is what I have to do as a car dealership. By law, if I know a car is a Cat N, a Cat C, a Cat S, a Cat D, Cat B, can't sell a Cat B, but if I know it's any of these insurance write-offs, I have to tell you by law. And if you're selling a car on Auto Trader automatically populate the advert that it is a Cat C, a Cat N, a Cat D, a Cat S. So I said, how much did you pay for this Peugeot? And they were saying 2,800. And straight, I mean, 2,800, this is before we knew it was a Cat N. They said 2,800, and they bought it 2 weeks ago, okay? Which was too much anyway. That car's worth £2,000 tops. If I took it in part exchange, I was always going to sell that car for £2,000. No more. That's what it was worth, 2,000. So they wanted to do a straight swap. My eye goes up for 2,700, just under. So they always want the original deal. They always wanted to do a straight swap, which I could never do. That car was their car. I could only ever sell for 2. So take it in for part X. I don't know. The most I could give them was £1,500 anyway. But for some reason, they thought they were going to turn up and straight swap these cars. That was never going to happen anyway. So they didn't actually tell me this, but they had no money to put into it, which they didn't tell me on the phone. So for them, the deal was always going to be a straight swap. For me, it was never always going to be a straight swap. However, I'm not digressing, but I'm just painting you the picture. So I do a HPI check on it. Straight away, ding, car's a Cat N. I said this to him, look, sorry guys, your car's a Cat N. Now, that means, now you said you paid 2,800, and you paid too much for it anyway, and that car, really, I said I would have sold it for 2 as a dealer. Now I know it's a Cat N, the most I could sell that car for is about £1,500. That was the most. And I said that to them. I said, look, you should have only paid about £1,500 for this car. And you paid 2,800. You paid over the odds anyway. But now it's a Cat N, you definitely paid over the odds. You paid almost twice what this car's worth. So I said, where did you get it from? Because they need to give you your full money back. Where did you get it from? Can't remember. All right, okay. It was only 2 weeks ago. Somewhere in Sudbury. Okay, where did you get it from? Can't remember. What was the guy's name? Can't remember. Where did you see it advertised? Wouldn't have been Auto Trader. Was it Facebook? Gumtree? Can't remember. The husband found the car. So the husband found the car for mother-in-law. So I said, well, get him on the phone. Let's find out. I said, I'll ring the garage up and I will tell him that he sold a Cat N. He hasn't told the customer and he needs to give them all the money back. Because I'm thinking, well, if they get their money back, they can then buy my car off me. So it's win-win for me to sort this problem out for them. And I was happy to do it. I was happy to phone this dealer up and tell him, what he had done. Or her, I don't know, them. Tell them that they had sold this, a Cat N without telling them. And they need all their money back. So finally, the mother pulls a receipt out of the bag for £1,500. Now, bear in mind, previously I had said the most I could sell this car for is about £1,500. So that's what the car was worth, and they'd paid £1,500. I'm thinking, I said, but you told me you paid 2,800 for it. Oh, well, yeah, well, we were looking at so many cars, and I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember how much we paid for it. And now, let's just roll back a little bit. They had told me they had no extra money to put into the Toyota Aygo deal, Peugeot for Aygo. So they've got no money, is what they're telling me. So when you've got no money, you don't forget that 2 weeks ago, that's 14 days. I mean, I don't know how many hours that is. It's not many. I won't work it out. You would remember. If you made a major purchase in the last 2 weeks, you would remember if that major purchase was £1,500 or £2,800. You would remember. I mean, because daughter couldn't remember how much they paid, mother couldn't remember how much they paid, but suddenly a receipt comes out the bag, handwritten, for £1,500. So I said, So you paid £1,500 for it then? Oh yeah. I couldn't remember how much you paid for it. Right. Okay. Now, I'm not accusing these people of anything, but here's my theory, and it's just a theory. I think they knew it was an insurance write-off. I think they knew they'd paid £1,500 for it, and I think they were trying it on that they thought this car was worth 2.8, which was ever so slightly above the price of my car at 2.7, and they were trying it on that they could part exchange their car for mine for a straight swap. You got to get up earlier in the day to catch me out, my friends, because I'll HPI check it. I know what cars are worth, and I can smell a story a mile off. So please do come and buy a car from me, but don't try it on. But I guess the moral of the story is that not all people are trying to rip you off. The first people with the Mercedes A-Class, I said to them, look, your car is riddled with problems that you didn't tell me about. And they said, you know what? We're going to come back and take the car off you. Honest people. Honest people. The second people, they were trying to tell me they couldn't remember how much they paid for a car 2 weeks ago. And then they're telling me it's worth £2,800. And as a part exchange, I probably would have given £1,000 for that car. So I even said to them, I said, look, give me your car now, even though I know it's Cat N. I'll take it, but I need £1,500 off you. I thought I'd knock a bit off the IGO, because it's up for 2.7. But yeah, no, they didn't have any money. But they couldn't remember how much they paid for the car. So that's an example of two customers. Two dodgy cars, but one really good, honest person who came and took his dodgy car back, and some other people where, do you know what? I don't even think it was the mother's car. I reckon it was the son-in-law's car or the grandson's car, and they were sending in an OAP and the daughter to try and throw me off the scent a little bit. Again, you got to get up early in the day to catch me out, my friends. So this is the tales of the car dealer, part 1. More to follow. If you want this IGO, you can check it out it's on Auto Trader. Nice little car. Or just drop me a message in the comments, and I'll happily sell it to you. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening, and more of these stories to follow.